That's the kind of sound you want to hear from a baby who's drinking milk. Quiet with a few little gulps in there. She's very busy getting what she wants from me right now.
It was during those years that I began to break into morgues and cut off the index finger of the dead. I never liked people pointing at me. That second finger was too aggressive, too bossy, too much like a dictator, making others do things and often resembling a gun. Most of the dead didn't need this finger in life, and I figured none needed in death. For a while, these fingers began to pile up on my shelf in the basement near my tools: saws, pliers, hammers. Then after a month or so, I got an idea. I began to mail fingers to ex-girlfriends with notes. Dear Laura, I love you so much. I have cut off my finger to prove my love. Dear Becky, this is one of the fingers I used to touch you with. I thought you might want it for sentiment. Put it in a jar of vinegar. Show it off to your friends. Dear Deidre, this little finger went to the market. Bloody, bloody. I watched the news and read newspapers looking for lost fingers, or fingers being missing, or fingers being reported, but none appeared. I must have taken hundreds of fingers, and no one noticed. No one even cared. Perhaps they were happy that that second finger was gone, the finger that picked noses and looked at people wrong. It was gone, but I was hooked. I needed more and more, and I couldn't get help. I started to live for fingers, for the removal of fingers. I started to amputate all the fingers on the bodies I found. I went to funeral homes like I was a member of the grieving family. My eyes even held real tears. After a wake was over, I'd go up to the funeral manager and say, "Please, sir, just a few more minutes. He was my brother." And then, with a sharp knife, whack, whack, whack! I'd put the fingers in a Ziploc bag and walk. I began to have dreams about fingerless men roaming the streets looking for my home. They would stand outside my door with stubby palms over mouths and whisper, "He's in there. What should we do?" I moved often, disconnected my phone, tried to get away from the dreams, but I was hooked. I started to hang out in the beauty salons and watch people receive manicures. Watching made me drool, and I wanted to scratch myself in places that you're not supposed to. I began to place ads in national newspapers, looking for, "We'll pay good money for fresh fingers." And male, age 27, looking for anyone with long, thin fingers. Age, sex, race, and looks not important. And then one morning I woke, and my pinky was gone. On the coffee table was a note with the voice of a coffin. "We have your little baby, your little finger. We will make it talk, and then we will make it dance, and then we will call it names like Snot Nose or Little Lost Brat. We tune our fingers so you'll never see the little bitch again." I quickly moved out of the city, moved into the country, into the woods, near the tobacco fields. I did not think they could find me. And I started to dig up the recently buried and removed their fingers. These I sent to my favorite movie stars. Dear Johnny Depp, here's a finger in the state of decomposing. Notice the black skin, and how is it a little bloated with juice. Notice how the nail has gone untrimmed. You are my favorite actor. Dear J-Lo, here's a dead finger. Look how the bone sticks out at the end, and how the vein looks like a little silkworm. Will you have my baby? The actors never wrote back. Then one day, weeks later, I received a hand in the mail. It was a former girlfriend's hand. If I remember correctly, we had dated for about 14 days, and then she went insane, seeing ghosts, and was in and out of hospitals. Her note said, Dear Kay, I've missed you these long years. I never quit thinking about you or loving you. Your gift was so kind. Your finger, here is my hand. The hand sits on my nightstand in a jar. It is my most cherished possession. I call the ex-girlfriend 2 or 3 times a week. We are making plans. Big plans.
Getting what she wants from me right now. If they're making a lot of smacking, clicking, funny noises,